YouTube, what the crap's going on? HeirofCarthage here, back on Total War Warhammer. Ready to jump into a replay. I actually got a chance to play a battle, and I wanted to play as the vampire counts, but when I joined the battle, my opponent also picked the vampire counts. I don't like mirror matchups, especially with the vampire counts, because it just turns into like a big healing grind. So I went ahead and countered with Bretonnia, and I brought a Louen build. I think a lot of people are used to seeing a Fey Enchantress build, and this one is a build that I didn't come up with this build on my own. I've seen others use it, and more specifically Ninja Hun. And so this one is basically men-at-arms with polearms that have, some decent upgrades to keep their leadership high. You embed a Grail relic on both sides, and you go into kind of a cone formation here to force the opponent into not a single line attack. And then I've got a unit of Questing Knights and a unit of Grail Knights. The Questing Knights for anti-armor and the Grail Knights for magic damage. And they're going to protect a sorceress here, Lore of Life. A damsel, Lore of Life. I'm using 2 mounted yeoman archers. And then Louen is here on Beaky. And he's got his Sword of Coron. So the deal here is that whatever the vampire counts throw at me, I should have counters to most of it. The Yeoman Archers counter Mortis Engines and Crypt Horrors, and the Polearms counter all the Crypt Horrors, and they're decent against armor as well, so large monstrous units are not going to like fighting against this many Polearms. The Grail Guardians counter Ethereal units, and are just good tanky damage, and the Questing Knights give you anti-armor where needed. So this army has lots of armor penetrating capability and decent staying power. And that's mostly because the Grail Relics boost your leadership. Now let's look at the Vampire Army. He's got a Skeleton Spear on either flank, zombies in the center. He's got a Sternsman Graveguard, 2 Horrors, Claw of Nagash, Chillgeist, and Barracks Reavers. And then over here, a Vargulf. He's using Heinrich Kemmler, and he plans to summon Krell. So, yep, this guy intends to call the forces of Krell against me. He's also got a Corpse card. Now, since this army is not extremely infantry-centric, the Corpse cart to me is a somewhat odd pick. I usually see a Corpse cart with a little bit heavier infantry build, but I think what he's looking to do is just tank in the center with zombies and Krell, and then have the Sternsman be the holding power, spears on the flank to help deal with cavalry, and I think he was hoping to overpower me with monstrous units and some decent cavalry. But the Chillgeist is an odd pick versus Bretonnia because these guys are very prone to magic damage. And you'll notice I've turned off my fire at will, and I'm manually skirmishing with the vampire player, and these guys are extremely slow to fire manually, like to the point of a nuisance, because my opponent was able to drive me off over and over again before I could actually get a volley off. But right now I'm trying to get in position just to harass him. Another good reason for me to not be on fire at will here is it keeps my yeoman archers relatively fresh, because when you start firing, they get tired very quickly. I want my opponent to commit his troops elsewhere so that my yeoman archers will be free to nuke his Mortis Engine. The Claw of Nagash here would be a serious problem if it's able to just continually attack me. And then Louen, like I said, I'm just using him he's a great unit. He's very tanky, lots of attack. He can easily dispatch a lot of vampire lords, and he has healing, which is quite nice. So lots of reasons to use Louen. But his beloved Son of Bretonnia and other abilities here will be quite nice. I turned them on to fire at will here, hoping they would target the Mortis Engine, as it would seem like it's the most obvious, but my 2 units picked the 2 low units, so I immediately took them off fire at will and tried to manually fire again. And you can see that they're still just not really cooperating. Eventually they start to fire, but it's been frustrating. So the first charge is about to happen. The polearms are going to take the charge. They have charge defense against large. And like I said, anti-armor, anti-large, they're going to do pretty well. My opponent's going around the flank with his monsters. That's a good call. Why go straight into polearms? He shouldn't. Skeleton spears are going to engage. They'll lose badly to polearms. The zombies won't do a whole lot to my polearms either. So my opponent, like I said, takes his large units around the flank where they should be, and then his Claw of Nagash kind of parks here a little bit further away from my infantry than it should be. I think he's losing track of it because he's microing this fight over here. Unfortunately for me, my Questing Knights are going to take a huge hit here. I probably should have tried to run away from the charge momentarily, charge with Louen, and then charge with my Questing Knights, because my Questing Knights are going to take massive damage now. And I put my heal over here on my infantry, because I all of a sudden got hit by all these monsters. He goes straight after my damsel here, which is not good for me, and I'm honestly paying attention over here. I use the Sword of Coron, so the Reavers and the Chillgeist are very much debuffed. He sends Krell over here, probably in an attempt to get Louen, but Krell can't really get through my cavalry very easily. So I'm in pretty good shape so far. He's going to bring all his monsters into the back of my infantry, but with the Grail Relic around, my guys are going to last quite a long time, and you can see his Mortis engine is now parked in the right place, but it's taking extensive damage. And then Kemmler, because his cavalry is engaged, has no protection from Louen. And Kemmler, on his best day, would definitely hope not to be fighting Louen. He tries to raise the dead to stop this, but infantry won't keep Louen from getting to Kemmler. He's going to need cavalry or monsters. So his Cryptors or something like that are badly needed right now to keep Kemmler safe, but it's not going to happen. Kemmler is taking an absolute pummeling from Louen. You can see how quick he's dropping, and Krell is now trapped amongst Grail Guardians, and he's not really going to be able to get out of there easily. Kemmler in a couple of hits. Look at him, he just got pitched in the air and killed. Do you see that? What a finish. What a finish. Now, Invocation of Nehek saved him, but that was pretty funny watching Kemmler get hucked in the air. Yeah, there he goes. He's gone. So, sorry, Krell. I killed your friend. Old friend or not. He's dead now. My damsel survived because of his rear charge into my infantry. Over here, you can see these polearms holding out marvelously. And here, of course, they're getting overwhelmed. But my opponent's having to dedicate so much into this effort that it's really not worth it. I bring Louen over to finish off the Claw of Nagash. Once it's gone, I really don't think there's a whole lot of threats left for my opponent because this Chillgeist and Reavers are falling. Look at the number of kills here on my Grail Guardians. 98 kills and climbing. And they are doing some really good work. Krell goes into the back of my infantry over here. He's got 5 kills. He's not doing a whole lot yet. And now my archers are free to start firing on all of his Cryptors. And Cryptors are quite an easy target for the Yeoman archers. So Dire Wolves are really the Vampire's best counter to the Yeoman archers. So if you're going up against Bretonnia and you have a sniff of suspicion that your opponent might bring these Yeoman archers, which do make a lot of sense, I would highly recommend that you get a unit of Dire Wolves. They can be a huge pest to the archers, a huge pest. But other than that, you can see I'm using Louen here to rear charge some of this Vampire infantry. I'm trying to free up more of my infantry so that my opponent has more of my infantry to fight. These polearms are dealing nice damage to his units over time, and they're being a big nuisance to break. The Grail Relic is not breaking easy either. You can see it over here. It's relatively tanky, so it's giving my opponent fits. So Louen did some damage here. We got these guys crumbling. It's all good. He's going to go ahead and try and go after another unit of my polearms, but you can see it's so hard for him to break the polearms that I'm kind of winning a battle of attrition here, and I'm able to use Louen to put down heavy charges on key units. So like right there, the corpse cart just took massive damage and got pushed around. And you can see here the first unit of Cryptors is almost gone. I'm almost out of ammo though too. Krell is degrading over time and not getting a whole lot done. My Grail Guardians, look at this, they got 2 healing spells, but they've tanked out 156 kills and picked up 2 experience chevrons. Amazingly tanky units. Look at that, 110 kills here on that polearm unit. So, pretty effective army. Like I said, I didn't cook this one up on my own, but it is certainly a nice army against a Vampire Count who is probably expecting a Fey Enchantress type build, maybe. I think that the Chillgeist were certainly a mistake versus the Bretonians, because the magic damage from Bretonnia is consistent. But in any case, it was a fun game, and I appreciate my opponent playing against me. He was a viewer and had nice things to say to me when I joined in. I really appreciate him watching the channel, so if you're watching this, man, thank you for watching. Really glad I got to play a battle with you. It was fun. It was definitely fun. Like that you were trying to have fun with Krell, and hope that you're enjoying the game and the videos. So please give my opponent a thanks there for giving us a fun battle to watch. I do hope you enjoyed it. I hadn't played a battle in so long, I wanted to get one of my own up. I will try and get some more played. My conference is now over, and hopefully things will settle in a bit, but I have to get on a plane on Sunday and fly to Phoenix, and I'll be in Phoenix till Thursday. I will take my gaming laptop with me, so I will be able to record videos while I'm there, assuming the internet in the hotel is even half viable, then I should be able to get quite a few videos up for you still. So no worries about me being out of town next week. I should be able to keep the content coming. Do hope you're enjoying this. What kind of content do you want to see? And hey, also thank you to all those who sent replays. I asked you to send replays, and you all sent me a ton of replays. So I'll have a lot of good stuff to sift through, and I'll take a look at it, but very much appreciate those who send in the replays. I've had a few people comment and say, Air, I wish you'd just play more of your own battles. That's why I subscribed. Hey man, I get it. It's just been too busy for me to play a lot of battles, and what I like to do with the replays, and there have been a lot of them, and it's mostly just because of me being busy, I like the replays because it gives me a chance to show other people's play style and point of view. I do need to do a better job of balancing my own gameplay in with the replays, but the replays make it nice on those days where I'm busy, which is a lot, and it lets me get you content rather than not get you content. But appreciate the feedback and certainly understand it. Hopefully that explains it a little bit for you. Appreciate MSI being an awesome sponsor. Keep an eye out this weekend. I've got a cool video with some stuff that they sent me if you're interested in that kind of thing. If not, then don't worry. There's plenty more Total War content coming. I think people have submitted me some good Rome 2 Total War videos. I am very much hoping to get around to some Deserts of Karak footage from one of the tournaments. I do have some I need to show, and hopefully I can get back into that because that was a fun variety game too. There's a lot of news out for Warhammer right now. We've got the Norska faction incoming in August, so we will do a campaign there. For those who are enjoying the Beastmen campaign, the file is gone. It wasn't in the cloud save, I don't believe. I mean, I can take a look real quick, but I'm pretty sure it's gone. Yeah, I don't have the Beastmen. I just had like a fun Wood Elves campaign that I was playing. So I never did finish the Wood Elves campaign. This is not the same Wood Elves campaign, but we could go to that one and show you what it looks like when the Wood Elves campaign gets finished, if that's the right one. But yeah, unfortunately, it's something like, Air, how come you didn't use your cloud save? You know, I was using the cloud save, but for whatever reason, like, I would save like a game on my laptop into the cloud save, and then it wasn't showing up when I went to my desktop, like it wasn't syncing properly, and I got frustrated with it and quit using it. I'll try it again the next time I do a campaign and see if I can get it to work right, because you're right, it helps prevent me from losing campaign save files like that. In any case, I do hope y'all enjoyed it. I will see you soon. HeirofCarthage, signing out for now.